Time is on my side. Well, maybe not always. On today's episode, we are talking about time management, something we can all definitely understand, underestimate, and as far as we go, underperform. That and much more up next on the EduTechGuys.
You're listening to the EduTechGuys, EduTechGuys.com. Hello and welcome to EduTechGuys. I'm David Henderson.
Hey, I'm Jeff Madlock.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in, turning on, downloading, all the good stuff.
All that good stuff. Hey, don't forget to check us out on the web, www.edutechguys.com. Takes you right to our link tree with all the pretty links that go everywhere else. And you can find us on
the link tree.
Yeah, you can find us on the XYZ, the S, the T, the F, the Facebook,
the F.
All that stuff. You can find us all there. That's where we are, staring back at you. Hey, listen. Anyway, so hey, be sure to follow us.
Oh, I thought you. I really thought there was something more to that. Okay.
You know, it's funny. It's end of school year here, so we're a little gun shy, I think, aren't we?
You know, so we're currently in what, like the third week of May, second week of May,
third week of May.
There's already some schools that are like done; they're out.
Yeah, Texas schools are out already. I'm like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah, so I was like, holy cow!
And they don't go back to school till like November. I'm not sure what's going on. And they're doing like 2-day weeks, like Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9.
That's right. We got schools right here debating whether to do 4 days. They're doing like 4 months. Yeah, we're good.
Hey, listen, we know the national reading average is 5th grade level, but we're going to do a 3-day week, 12 months, 12 days out of every month. That's what we're going to do here. You know, forget the reading average. Who needs to read anymore? We've got AI is going to read it all to us, and we've got pictures.
Picture pages.
You like that picture pages. We always come back to that.
We do. That's one of our go-tos. That's what happens when you're Gen X.
Hey, you know, this is kind of our first podcast heading into summer because it's almost, it is summer. Heck, it was 92 here yesterday.
Yeah, so. I was going to say.
If that ain't summer, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's going to be storming and 75 tomorrow.
That's called bacon chicken. That's what that's called. Yeah. It's time to bake some chicken.
Grilling on the hood.
On the hood of the car. I've got the eggs on the asphalt and the chicken on the hood. Dinner will be ready in just a bit.
That's right.
But hey, yeah, summer workshops are coming up. We hope you're taking advantage of all your BOCES and your cooperatives and all that out there and find you some stuff. And it's conference season. So I bring that up because we will be at ISTE in Colorado.
Yeah, Denver.
There you go, Jinx. Jinx, you owe me a Ticonderoga No. 2 pencil.
I need to hop an Uber and go visit all the places I used to live.
All the places you used to live. There's under the bridge, the park bench. No.
I lived under the Mousetrap. Those of you familiar with Denver know exactly what I'm talking about. The Mousetrap is this insane interchange between, I can't remember if it's 3, 4, 5, 52 different interstates that all come together, and I mean it is.
My great grandfather used to call those a mix master.
The mix master.
The mix master. Yes. You get lost up in there.
Yes. Well, they call it the Mousetrap because you get caught in it. You could be trapped, going around forever and still end up having no idea where you're going, where you came from.
That's one of my biggest fears is to be on one of those things and the road just end and you fall off. You know, if you see on the. I'll just throw that out there so you know. Perfectly. Something about Jeff you wanted to know. That's what it is.
Perfectly valid fear. The road just ends.
But yeah, ISTE is going to be, and I know what we're going to see, and we're going to actually probably talk about that in this episode today. We're going to talk about time management, and we've been looking at. David and I have been doing education a long time. We remember before there were pencils, so we've been around a long time. And it's funny what we see, the reoccurring things that come back up, and it's just the basics that we're missing out. And so time management's one of those. But, we're going to go to ISTE, and I know it's going to be a lot of AI because everybody's got AI now. And, so it's AI this and AI that.
AI out the wahoo.
Yeah.
That's it, exactly.
So, but, it's some of it is great. I have to tell you, we use it on occasion, and it's great for prompts. It's great for getting stuff done. And you'll find in probably time management, as we'll talk about it will do that. So, I tell you what, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back after this. Hey, welcome back. Today, David and I don't have a guest. We're going to talk about some time management. It's been something we've been thinking about for some time. And so time management is a big deal. And it came up because we were talking, and I realized that, if a teacher has good time management, we both did. We were talking about if a teacher has good time management, that's just kind of a learned thing in the classroom. The kids start to pick up on it, especially at an early age. They get used to the consistency, which consistency is based on time management. I mean, that's what it's all about. And so for kids, that's kind of a big deal. And I think in the classroom, time management is a big deal. Would you agree with me, David?
No, I don't think it's worth any. No, yeah, of course I agree with you. No, I think you just throw caution to the wind. Yeah. What? Who needs to do what? No, I think a big part of where you're, as we were getting ready for the show and we were talking about this earlier, I think part of what we may be calling time management is falls under classroom management as well.
Sure, yeah.
When you're talking about, one of the things that we have talked about even on the show a couple of times is when especially the teacher as the leader in the classroom has structure, and there is a particular sequence of events that happen. Back when we were in school, it was, take your books out, you're going to turn to, page 52, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Some of that still happens now. It's, of course, digital, it's electronic, it's updated, but it's very similar. There are very similar patterns that help with that time management, because we've only got students, for so much time in the day, let alone, depending on what grade level you teach, you've got them for, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe 90 minutes for at least, and even if you have students all day, if you're in primary and you've got those students all day long, you still have to manage that time for the subjects that you're teaching.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the backbone of effective teaching, because it allows the teacher, the educator, to juggle a multitude of tasks, while still trying to provide, or still providing. No trying to it. You don't get to try. You have to do it. Yeah. So while still providing quality, instruction, and that's two of the words we hear now: quality instruction for students. And I think that's really, you're right. It's classroom management, but in that it's time management, because there's very little time in the day. I mean, we're seeing so much more now. You and I were talking the other day about, one of the educators that you live with and that you're married to, and we're talking about they were trying to figure out time, and they realized trying to meet some of what the state wants, just in literature and English would be like 6 hours out of every day.
Yeah.
With no bathroom breaks, and you don't get to change classes, and no eating.
Yeah. Well, and to me that was one of those crucial conversations where, especially, she happens to be in the position where she's working alongside a state educational representative. I don't mean like an elected official. I mean, somebody who works for the state ed department, and they were working through some of the new things that the governor and the I don't even know what the grand poobah of education is called in this state anymore, but Steve, whatever his title is now,
Reggie.
But to your point, that was exactly the issue. Was the state said, okay, well, you got to do all these things, and my wife was like, hey, listen, why don't you come down? Let's spend the day together, and let's try to map out just one day so that we can get a feel for what this looks like. And it was exactly what you said. They mapped it out, and there was no time for bathroom breaks. There was no time even just to get from one class to another class. They were like, you can't do this.
Right.
Obviously, the people who are making the rules are not paying attention or don't know the time involved with education.
Right. And what's interesting about that is and we throw this and we change it on educators every year, definitely, sometimes every semester.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, guess what you get to do these next 3 months? And you get today's workshop for 6 hours to prep that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
But think about, so let's get back to where that happens for time management, because really for students is, I think, the big deal. What do they see? They see hectic.
Sure.
They see confusion.
Yeah.
They don't see consistency. And I mean, let's be honest, a student that gets time management, it's a superpower. For kids, it definitely is. They're going to see a teacher prioritize things. They're going to see a teacher set realistic goals. They're going to see a teacher stick to a schedule. And then they're going to see the success of that in the classroom, and if they apply that to themselves, then bingo, bango, bongo, they've got a win-win situation there. I mean, and that's what we want for our educators too. We want those exact same things. We want them to, prioritize their tasks, set realistic goals. And there's an interesting thing. What we've lost in the classroom in that is we have these goals that are placed upon the educators, and they don't get to set those realistic goals. Now, they try to in the parameters of, hey, guess what? We need every kid to speak Mandarin Chinese by the end of next week, kind of thing.
Right.
Meet standard 5, 12, 23, 26A, that kind of thing. But, that's why I think it's real important for the time management for kids, because the sooner they learn it, and everyone builds their own. I mean, we all have our own time management skills. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, we build something that works for us.
And I think some people handle that better than others. I mean, how many times are we sitting around, frankly, doom scrolling when, there are 8 billion other things that we could be, should be, ought to be doing. And, sometimes we get caught up in that and get away from that, kind of time management. And I think that's one of those things where, especially if you can recognize it, if you can recognize when it's happening and then stop yourself and go, okay, I'm not being very effective here. And so because I'm not effectively managing my time, I'm not maximizing my productivity. And I know that sounds like a big fancy way of saying things, but you're not being productive in the way that whatever it is that we ought to be doing. And that sometimes is the hardest part, is to stop. Stop, drop, and roll. Stop your scrolling.
I did that in the hallway.
Drop your phone. Roll your butt.
Roll away to something productive.
That's right.
Well, so now, my key word to all this time management is procrastination, and I think that's it. But my biggest deal with that is when I was younger, I could procrastinate. Because I can get this done. All I need is 3 hours. I'll write that paper before it's due. I'll get this lesson done. I was a band director. I'll write this drill in the morning before the kids get here, and we'll put it on the field. But as I got older, and even then, the stress level it created. I mean, there's the thing. If you can master some form of time management for your life, you can drop that stress. And for kids, teachers have a lot of stress, but kids, it's kind of overwhelming for them because they have exams and assignments, and then you throw in extracurricular activities, and then you throw in home life and after school and religious activities and things along that line. Holy smokes. So, I think that's another place that, that management comes in, and it helps kill that stress, and then you're not cramming for that last minute stuff, but I think that's a discipline thing, like self-control.
Well, there's definitely that. And I did not have that by any stretch, form, or fashion when I was in school. I was very much a, last minute kind of person. I was one of the things that when anytime I had to do writing assignments, and especially if I had my educator, the educators who were trying to teach me and guide me, and they'd be like, okay, we're going to write a first, we're going to do an outline, we're going to do a first draft, we're going to do a revision. I'm like, listen, I'm more of a, put down my piece of paper and grab my pen and let the muses sing kind of person. So I did not get to develop that self-control. And what's interesting to me is that several places where I worked very early in my early days in my early career, I actually had some of my bosses send me to those classes, like the day runner classes. And some of those, where they were like, you're going to get this book and you're going to do all this time management. And I'm like, sorry, that just still, that still didn't happen.
Not going to happen.
But what I tell you, what does happen, or what works for me, and this is one of the things that I said when I first took this new job here at the district.
You said, I don't do Windows. No, anyway.
So I have a Mac. No, I said, I'm the type of person that, you've got to give me a deadline. I've got to have it. I'm not very good with soft deadlines. Hey, get this done. It's on your time. You do it. And I'm like, listen, it's not that it won't ever get done, but it'll get done who knows when. Right. Whereas if you say, hey, we got to have this by, the end of September, right? For this particular promotional piece, or we're going to make this video and we want this video to go out, before Christmas, or whatever PR things that we're working on or whatever communication pieces that we're working on for my position. Those are the kinds of things where I'm like, yes, okay, I've got to have those deadlines because then I can do a better job of managing my time, which gives me that, as you said, kind of that superpower. I feel like, okay, I got this. And it really does help with that self-control.
Right.
Because then I'm able to control what I'm doing within those parameters.
Well, and that speaks to your early upbringing, your early education. People were giving you deadlines.
Right.
Like, this is when this paper's due, this homework's due tomorrow, this is due here, have the yard mowed by tomorrow at 3:00, clean your room up by this afternoon. So that was actually training you at that time and creating your time management, focus that
right.
you built for yourself, your plan, your that kind of thing. Yeah. So isn't that interesting? I guess mine was, who are you? What are you doing in our house? Sure, you can eat that. Hence the procrastination.
That's right.
But it's funny when you think about it. If you look at the students who are very productive, that have some form of their own time management plan, how they're running their lives, their academic performance is better. Mm-hmm. I mean, you actually see it because they're allocating their time, wisely, studying or, extracurricular activities,
mm-hmm.
and you can recognize those kids because those are the ones that, they finish softball practice. Well, they don't hang out and have a Coke and do this stuff. Like, well, I got to go. I've got to go to this next thing. And it could just be, this is when I go home and I have dinner with my family and then I do my homework and then, then I doom scroll till it's time to go to bed.
Exactly.
I got to check Instagram for the next 3.5 hours till I fall asleep with the phone in my mouth. So,
yes.
But I think that's it. It's something that maybe we've done. But I would venture to say that we've let that get in the way of our work-life balance, which is an American thing. Mm-hmm. We tie everything to work. And we don't tie it to the rest of life. And I think anyone listening to that would go, you're right. And you can say, well, the Europeans get it. They're all about, I don't live to work. I work to live, mm-hmm. and that's it. It's time to go home. It's time to go home. I'm going to have a cafe, a latte, and a baguette, and watch the Eiffel Tower. So
you jumped like 4 countries in one
Hey, I tried. Then I have a siesta. Look at there.
There you go.
In Venice on a gondola.
Yeah.
Shall I keep going?
No, please do not.
But so having said that, we are the EduTech guys. So what's really cool is let's talk about with the advancements that we have in technology. I mean, just think the first Palm Pilots. Man, you remember those? God, we had such fun with those. Like, it's my calendar. The Blackberries. We got all of our stuff right here. And a lot of people, I used one. I had a Palm Pilot. What's interesting is that it was never easy. Because it was like, I got to put this in here, click, click, click. And I had the little pen, I'm touching the letters, and, when's it going to get handwriting? And it gets handwriting, it's like, no, that was not Caesar salad. It was supposed to be,
right, yes.
Curriculum review. How did that get Caesar salad? But, think about now, though, just what we're doing for kids, we're cutting time. I mean, Google Classroom. Microsoft Teams, things along that line, Canvas, all the learning pieces that are out there. That's actually helping kids. I mean, we always wonder what that would be like. We're kids of the 80s. Wow. If we'd had these things that was keeping that up, we had just talked about the other day. We need to make sure we provide for the students the same way we provide for adults. Because if a kid wakes up at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning mm-hmm. and goes, oh my gosh, do I have something done? We have the technology to make sure that they can log in to whatever they need to log in, just like we all do. Did I pay that bill? Did I make that appointment for my kids? Did I pick up the dog? No. But, they need to have that same thing. But there's a time management piece, that a kid can go at any moment, go, hey, I'm going to go to the movies tonight with the friends. Wait a second. Let me look here. Oh, no. Oh, I've got that project due.
Yeah.
So I need to reschedule my time. I don't have time. Okay, maybe I can put it. Okay, look here. Look at I can go to the movies right here, and then I've got these 3 hours right here before I have to yada yada yada.
Yeah.
To me, that's crazy cool. And so there's something I'd say to you if you're looking for something. And here's the thing: it takes a lot of time and attention to use technology. No different than sitting down and writing it down in your planner with a pencil. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to, do it for that 21 days and you'll learn it. But, that's one of those things to me. I think that, that's a hard part, even for you and I, because we're analog kids.
Yeah.
So learning a new technology piece we try. I mean, we use Calendar and Calendly and all this kind of stuff to help us out. But, I believe that's a really interesting part. And then we get to AI, when we talk about time-saving things. The way I look at AI, first, we've had a lot of shows on AI and how we feel about it. But I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to look at it as, anything can be used for good and evil. So just use it for good. Because as a prompt, talk about saving time. If I've got to write a 12-page paper on Beethoven. Well, you can't, you're not going to get a good paper trying to cover his entire life in 12 pages. So use AI to help you with that prompt. Hey, help me prompt this for a 12-page paper on Beethoven for his most influential years or his most productive writing time, that kind of thing. I think that's kind of cool.
Well, and for those that may be suddenly listening and going, oh, yeah, great, now my kid's going to write a 12-page paper using, AI. In my experience, in the times where, like, I've even specifically asked AI to write, say, give me a 5-page paper on something, whatever topic it was, it never does. Now, it may in the future, but as it sits right now, it actually doesn't. And instead, it, for all intents and purposes, gives you a summary that could help you get to that 5-page paper, that 12-page paper. So, you can use... like you said, you can use it for the good. You can use it to help get you, students can use it to help get them past a block point. Or if a student has a whole bunch of different ideas floating through their head and they're trying to make heads or tails of it, you can put all of that into an AI prompt and ask it to organize this. Hey, help me organize the following bits of information. And then free-forming, free-flowing consciousness, put it into that AI prompt. And then AI comes back and says, okay, here's kind of what I think you should do, or here's kind of a direction you could go. And then the student can take that and massage it, work it, expand it, do what they need to. So AI doesn't have to be a bad guy. Can it be? Sure, anything can be. Kurt, I can.
I'm a bad guy.
How many times growing up, for those of us that are old enough to remember encyclopedias, that we attempted to copy verbatim out of the encyclopedia, and the teacher would go, this is not you.
Yeah. Hey, listen, every classroom in this building has that Britannica on its shelf.
Right, exactly.
I just looked it up, and you literally copied from the World Book. Come on.
Yes. Exactly.
And there's where we are. You can't get away with that with AI anymore. I mean, it's going to catch you. All of our plagiarism apps and stuff catch you on that stuff. That's just one little thing. I mean, there's so much. The interesting part is when you look at time management, the repetitive things that we do now can be automated. We can do some things to help us shorten the amount of time we take. Time management not just about getting it all in there. It's also like, well, this used to take me 5 minutes to do, but now it only takes me 3.
Right.
And I did it 6 times over an hour, so that 30 minutes is now 18 minutes, and so I've freed up all this time. Very interesting, and I think it's really interesting. My time management stops when I go to bed. And then the moment I get up, I do these same things every day. And I'm watching the clock like, I'm 2 minutes behind. I know that sounds weird, but it's like I was supposed to be making coffee at 5:40. Dadgummit, it's 5:42. This is going to put me behind. I'm going to get on the interstate, and then I'm going to be 3 minutes behind, and then I'm there. Because if I don't get to a certain place at a certain time, I get behind a school bus. I had to be there at this certain time.
I was just going to say. That's the big thing. I don't know. I don't know how it is in other parts of the country, but I can tell you, down here in L.A., Lower Arkansas, if you don't beat the school bus, you are late. Period. And that happened to my wife and I are very fortunate to where we can actually leave the house at the same time. And so she usually leads, and I'm behind her, and then she'll turn off to go to school, and then I go the other way to come here, and if we leave late, and in fact, that's even my wife even said this morning. She said she came out and she said I'm 2 minutes off, and she said we're going to be behind the bus. And I was like, no, we'll be fine. No, we were behind the bus. And when you're behind the bus, that 2 minutes off is now 5 minutes, to 7 minutes.
And we're getting on the bus. We dropped the lunchbox, and now we have to go. We have to stop, and the arm goes out again.
That is, yeah.
But it's funny here in LA. It's like Mad Max, because there's these fine windows between log trucks, chicken trucks, and buses. And
you are not wrong.
And then inevitably Tuesdays and Thursdays are when our retirees go out to go to Walmart at 6 a.m. And if you get behind a retiree who's behind a log truck waiting for a chicken truck to turn after the bus picks up, then you've shot your whole morning.
You're done.
You're probably going to get to work at 8:15 and be way late, and you just burned an extra 3 gallons of gas in your trouble.
Yes, my father-in-law does 35. It doesn't matter what the posted speed limit is, it's 35. If the speed limit's 20, he's doing 35. If it's 65, he's doing 35.
And don't turn the air conditioner on, it burns too much gas. Listen, we're just talking here. These are personal experiences that have happened to us through our lifetime.
Your mileage may vary.
But true.
But
so,
anyway.
hey, wrapping up, time management's a big deal. And we wanted to talk about it because we believe it's something that we can all take a little deeper look at and, delve into it a little bit more. And the most important thing here is the impact it has on student learning. It's also, yes, on the educator's teaching ability, but it's about student learning. Mm-hmm. Because when teachers, manage their time effectively, they have way more opportunities to plan engaging lessons, provide feedback, address individual needs of students, all of which contribute to the improved academic outcomes.
Yeah, exactly. So, whether you're new, whether you've been doing this for a while, take this all in stride. Just remember, mastering the art of time management. Just as you think about time management and as you start to work through time management, it's key to success in the classroom.
Key to success.
And beyond.
Yeah. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed today's show. It is time.
Yeah, TikTok. Time to. I forgot something. I should look at my calendar. Hey, we hope you enjoyed the show. Hey, once again, don't forget to visit us on the web, www.edutechguys.com. That has links to everything from our podcast to our social media to if you want to get in touch with us, where we're going to be at next. Anyway, yeah. Jeff's not the greatest with the English language. But I am working on my Mandarin Chinese.
There you go.
So I figure by the time I'm 87, I'll have that. I'll be able to say, where's the bathroom, and can I have lunch? That's. I figure that's enough, right?
That's it.
I travel over there. The only 2 things I need to know: can I have lunch, and where's the bathroom?
Just don't get them mixed up.
Can I have bathroom and? Where's the lunch?
Where's the lunch?
Where's the lunch?
Where's the lunch?
There you go. Yeah. Where's the lunch at? Yeah. Hey, listen, we hope you had a great time. We've had a great time.
Shoot.
Hey, I'm Jeff Madlock.
I'm David Henderson.
We'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to the EduTech Guys, edutechguys.com.